You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
PJ from Broward.
Hey, PJ.
Yeah, hey, I'm seeing a weird parallel between James Comey and another deep state official that was also fired by another president. You know who I have in mind?
Who?
No, tell us.
Okay, give you a hint. The president that fired the guy was
Give me a hint.
John
Tell
F.
us the
Kennedy.
answer.
Okay, the answer is Allen Dulles.
Okay.
Thank you for your call.
All right,
So-
PJ. Is there a point?
Well, wait a minute. Wait, huh?
Yeah, go-
But the thing is I mean, if anybody studies the assassination of Kennedy,
Yeah.
Allen Dulles was playing a big role, and unbelievably, he was like the main guy in charge of the Warren investigation, also.
Oh.
But he was very angry at. Listen, I
I'll
read the
look.
Devil's
I'll look
Chessboard. He was
into it. I'll look into it. So, what do you think about Comey?
Yeah,
Do you think Kash Patel is going to arrest Comey?
I think there should at least be an investigation and be interrogated. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, I thought aren't you going to Portugal today?
Yeah. No. I'm going to Portugal on Monday night. I'll send you some photos if you want.
Okay. All right. Appreciate the call. All right. He's going to Portugal just to go to a restaurant where they bring a whole pig to the table. It's very strange. PJ's a friend of mine. I've known him for many years.
There's a new book making explosive claims that CIA Director Allen Dulles ordered the hit on President John F. Kennedy. The book by David Talbot, he's the editor of Salon.com. It's called In the Devil's Chessboard, Allen Dulles, the CIA, and the Rise of America's Secret Government. It claims that Dulles undermined or betrayed every president he served. 10 years as director of the CIA. Jose, this book is explosive. It's making waves globally, and he asserts that this very dark time in American history, that then CIA director, in the interest of national security, wanted to take out JFK, and in fact did so, totally undermining the Warren Commission and their finding that Lee Harvey Oswald acted as a lone gunman, and this really sets up a pretty dark scenario.
The JFK assassination remains one of the greatest taboos in American public life. It's now very clear from all the recent research that's been done, some of it's based on documents that have been released by the U.S. government itself, and some of this based on our own congressional investigation that was undertaken by the House Select Committee on Assassinations back in the 1970s. From all these various sources, we now know, I think beyond a shadow of a doubt, that the assassination of President Kennedy was a conspiracy. This is what Congress itself declared in the 1970s. And not only that, but this conspiracy really came out of the U.S. government itself. And what I argue in the Devil's Chessboard is that it was led by people like Allen Dulles, who had been fired by Kennedy, was very bitter about it, felt that Kennedy was a weak president who was putting the country at risk. Why? Because he was negotiating with the Soviet Union. He was negotiating with Fidel Castro in Cuba. He believed in diplomacy instead of war. And for this, they felt he had to be removed. So Allen Dulles, I believe, was the so-called chairman of the board of this conspiracy. Indeed, it was his assassination team that he had built while he was CIA director that came back to Dallas to kill our own president. They had killed foreign leaders all around the world. It's not such a big leap to have the same team come back to Dallas. I, through new evidence, place a key member of that team, in fact, the leader of that team, a man named William Harvey, who was a CIA official, a legendary official in the CIA. Allen Dulles had promoted him, made him head of the assassination team directed at Fidel Castro. He was a man who was comfortable working with the mafia. I believe, and I have new evidence to show this, that he was in Dallas before the assassination in November 1963, and that he and others on his assassination team, CIA assassination team, played a key role in killing President Kennedy. And then, of course, Allen Dulles has conveniently put on the Warren Commission, the commission that investigates the murder of the president.
The Fox's
the Fox is again looking into who murdered the hens.
Yeah.
And he dominates that commission to such an extent that many observers of the time felt it should have been called the Dulles Commission. And of course, they conclude it was Lee Harvey Oswald, this lone nut, acting alone. All evidence
LBJ
points
creates
to a
this
conspiracy.
group called the Warren Commission. And you can see in these phone calls, he was asking the FBI director who should be on the commission.
What do you think about Allen Dulles? I think he would be a good man.
Wait, did you catch that? Allen Dulles. He was the former director of the CIA. He's one of the guys that JFK fired after he tried to overthrow the Cuban government. And now he's about to be appointed to the committee investigating Kennedy's assassination. This did nothing to instill trust in the commission.
Fox News Alert, I'm Brett Baer in Washington. Moments ago, breaking news that no one saw coming today. We learned that President Trump has fired FBI Director James Comey.